A warm welcome to this quick guide on creating fun and engaging spring-themed lessons for foundation phase using Lynx Whiteboard software for your Clevertouch interactive display. First off, although we're going to spend time on actually creating the lesson, what I need you to first do is you will need to make sure you've got Lynx Whiteboard downloaded. Secondly, once it's downloaded, that you have signed in to your account, or that you've at least set up an account. And then before you can start, what you would also need to do is click on your hamburger menu, go into options, and then in your content, make sure all of this is toggled to the right. What you can also do being foundation phase is make sure your font is set up. So if you're using ABC Junior or you're using Teacher's Pet, make sure that you have set that up as well. Okay, then to get started, you can simply click on New. I've already created the lesson, so I'm going to just open the lesson from here, and I'm now going to show you how we get started on creating a lesson for spring. So just give it a second to download. This is sitting in my Lynx cloud at the moment, so it's easy accessible whether I'm working off my Clevertouch or on my laptop. I can then download it within minutes. Okay, cool. So now you will see this is my entire lesson in one canvas. So at the end I will show you how we do this. So to start, what I've done here is my first page. I have a video, and you will see here as well, this lesson is available. I have explanations all over here, and how we would do this is, one, you would need to start a new page. So in our page options, you would go to new page. Voila, you've now got a new page. Then you can go and bring in a background. So what I did was I first went into edit my background. Okay, I went into insert, to content, to my search item or icon, into Google, and then I just typed spring. Okay, right. And here we go. So it's bringing up different options for spring. I think, let me rather say spring season. Here we go. Okay, so now I can go and pick and choose. So let's go with this one as a background. Okay, so now I can simply go and drag it across to fit my page. Once I'm happy with that, I can also choose the visibility, so we can have it look like a background. If I'm happy, I can simply then exit my background. Now to bring in the video, what I will do again is go to my insert icon, go into content, go into my search, and then again into YouTube. And here we go. Now I've got spring season, so let's see, here we go. Here's a video here. Just drag and drop it out. Again, you can pinch and zoom. Okay, and voila, now you've got your video that you can simply play. Mine might take a while to come through. Okay, so that's how easy it is to add a video. Right, so that we did on, so if I just go to my pages quickly. Yeah. So that I did here on that very first activity was how you can bring in the video. Right, the next thing we have here is a sorting activity. So if I just show you how this works, if I go into my presenter mode quickly. There we go. So remember presenter mode, so now you will have two children come to the board, and they will then sort out these different objects into the relevant season. Again, if you're not sure by the end of this what needs to be done, I've got explanations on the side as well. Okay, so you will see here, so let's have a look here. So let's say a jacket would go to winter, a flower to spring, the chick to spring, maybe the watermelon to summer, Easter to autumn, and so you could then sort this out accordingly. Now, to go and create something like this, right, let's just get to the last page that we added here. Right, okay, so now I'm just going to go delete this. Okay, let me just delete the video. Okay, so we got the background. Now what I want to do is I want to go and get that same look and feel. I want to add the different items. Okay, so what we would do now is I'd go into again my background. Just go into my background. Right, you can go and add your title. So we said sorting activity. Okay, right. So I can bring this in. There we go, bring sorting activity in. Again, you can change your font. Let's make it bold. Let's change the color. So we can go with pink. Okay. And let me just adjust that out. Okay, so there we go. So now we have this here. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to bring in different content. So I just want different seasons. So I'm then going to go back here again. Okay, so in here, I'm just going to show you, for example, so here we go. So let's say that's our icon for spring. We can do, let's do something for autumn. Right, we can bring again something for autumn across. Okay, and so you get the idea. So you can bring these now across. They are in the background. So let's just do spring and autumn for now. Okay. Oops. So these are, there we go. So let's just bring those in. Okay, so we've got spring and autumn. I exit the background. Now what I want to do is I want to bring items in. So again, go into my content. Let's go into Pixabay. Let's just have a look here. Let's say for this, oh, here we go. Here's a leaf. So let's bring, just delete that one. Let's just say a hat. Let's see what hat it gives us. Yeah, let's just use that hat as an example, right? Okay. Let's bring across that hat, and let's bring across. Let's do an Easter bunny. Okay. Here we go. Let's bring across an Easter bunny. Okay. Now we want to make these editable while we're in our presenter mode. So with it selected, what you'll do is you go to editable while presenting. You'll do the same here. And what that means now is in my presenter mode, so if I go to start presenting, you will notice that now these, I can then move these, and everything we put in the background, you cannot move. Okay, so that's how easy it is to create that activity. So again, let me just go stop presenting quickly. So again, if we go back up there, just go into our page view. Right, so that was this activity here. Okay, now we had labels, so I just want to show you that. So how we got to the labels. Yeah, so how we got the labels, we actually insert shapes. So you'll go into insert icon, you go into shapes, and then you could simply drag and drop. So let's say that's what we wanted. We put it there. We give it color, and we call it spring. There we go. So there it's come up there. And then of course you've got the same option. You can go and make it bigger, smaller, change the color, etc. Okay, so that's how you can go and create that activity. Right, the next one. Oops. So the next couple are actually just information. So again, the same way we followed the others, you're going to bring in your images. You're going to add your text. So follow the exact same steps as we've done before. Now this one here, our naming activity. So all I did here was in the background, I created a shape. And then I have actually added Lynx activities. So for me to quickly show you this, what I did was I first went into my shapes. So shapes, I took the circle, we went across, okay. Then what I did was with the selected, I went into my editing tool, right, so my little paint bucket, my cropping tool, and I said shape split, and I split it until I got 12 little pieces. Right, now I've just done 2, so split it until I got 12 little pieces. Let me just redo this one rather. Let me just delete this quickly. Okay, let me just bring it in again. Okay, simply just drag and drop my circle. Right, once I've got that, go into shape split. Right, there we go. Now I've got all my pieces. Okay, and what I did here was, you can go and color each one of them. So obviously I colored each one. Then what I did was I went and brought my text box in. Okay, so let's just say March. Okay, brought my text box in. And then given the fact that depending where it is, you can obviously turn this around. So I'll just put that like that there. And that's how I then created this wheel. Bringing in the little circle over it, I simply created that in Canva and imported it. So if you want to bring in your own images, how you would do that, again, go to the insert icon, go to content, but now this time I'm not going to search because search is all my online content. What I am going to go to is my offline, so into my folder. And what I'll do here is you select the little 3 little hamburger menu icons. I go browse files. So I'll just go browse files quickly. I think I'm in my files actually. Alright, so I go browse files. Right, there we go. And now if I go to where I've saved it, so let me just see where I've saved it quickly. Here we go, lesson development, grade R. Here we go, and here it is now, PNG. So I bring that in, I just say select, and there we go. And there I've got my image directly off my laptop. Okay, so that's how you can then bring this all in. And let me just delete this quickly. Okay, then what I've done, the whole point of this was actually, so that's in the background. Now the whole point is to show that this is actually an activity. So yeah, students can understand which months fit which season. But now the whole point is you want to test them on this. Okay, so we've got Lynx activities. Now the key with Lynx activities is that when you download this lesson, just note you will not have access to my activity that I created. You will have to go and recreate this for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you would do that. Right, so I'm going to just go into my presenter mode quickly. Sorry, give me a second to catch up. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So Now, if you're not too sure starting off where to find Lynx activities, let me quickly show you here. So if I go into my dashboard quickly, I go into dashboard. So you will hear it says Lynx activities on the side. So you will go in there and set it up from there. Obviously, I've already gone in, okay, and it is set up. So how you would play it is the kids would all come to the board, press spin. They would need to say, right, so September is in which season? Okay, obviously spring. Okay, so that's how the spinner works. Now, how do we set it up? So, again, if I go into the dashboard, so let me go into my Lynx activities from here. Okay, you have to obviously have connectivity and you have to be signed in. That is key. Once you've opened your Lynx activities, is if this is your first time you are using it, you will simply go to add activity. You will find this spinner under fun, and then you will simply go into this add the spinner. Now I've already added my spinner, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select edit. Right, you see the little pencil pops up, click the pencil, and here I can then go and change my title. I can click on here to change my image, and then I can go and add all of the words or numbers or whatever you want to use your spinner for. Simply save it, and then I have my spinner. There we go. And then you saw how easy it was to use it earlier. So all I did there, if I go back into my lesson quickly, all I did was I put the logo for Lynx activities in. I clicked on the 3 little icons and I said link. Okay, now where you would find the link is if I go back into here quickly, I open my spinner. Here we go. All I did was copy this URL. I went into this and I simply pasted there and said okay, and that's how I then got my link that when I click on there it immediately takes me out. Okay, so that's our naming activity. Then what we have from here is we have a basic maths matching game. So all I did was actually create this image in Canva, and again added it to the background, so exactly like we did with the first image in terms of bringing in the background. I cannot edit those. What I did then was I brought in numbers, so using my typing tool, and all I said again, the same as our sorting activity, was editable while presenting. So now what we do, if I go to my presenter mode, you can have 2 kids come to the board. Okay. You can have 2 kids come to the board, and let's say we want to drag this across. They've got to count the different flowers in here, or the number of flowers. So right, so we can say there one's 3, and then of course they can drag and drop it across. Okay, so I'm not going to go into how we've done this because these tools are exactly the same as our sorting activity. We've used our background editor, and I've used the editable while presenting tools, and of course my text tool. Okay, now here we go. So this is data handling. So let me just make sure we're out of presenter mode quickly. Okay, so this is our data handling. Now for this here, all I did was to get the blocks, you can insert a table. So if you go to insert and there's your table, but what I found is it doesn't like inserting images. So all I did was I went to shape, right, I added my shape. Okay, then if I select it, I can then make that transparent. I can then change the style so that I have little dots. I can change the color and the thickness, and there we go. Then you've got you've got your table. Right, I did the same for the line. I actually just went and brought in a square and brought it in. Okay, so you will see here I went to shapes, right, and I actually just brought in my square to make the line. Then what I did is I went to content, so remember, insert content, and I went into the clip art and I just brought in my images. Now what I did was as well, if you just drag and drop this, so if I just select this here, so just drag it, right, sorry, let me just close this, I don't want that. So if I just drag across, you will notice you've got this little icon here. It says group or ungroup. So if I select this, I've now grouped this entire selection. Okay. Now in terms of my table on the right, or the little box on the right, this is actually brought in through our offline content. So again, you'll go to insert, go to content, go to my folder, right, and I actually want to get into, I don't want any of this. Okay, so in here's my folders. What I actually did is I went to maths, backgrounds, and I dragged this across. Now because I didn't want the entire page, you could obviously go and edit this accordingly, make it smaller, bigger. So there you see I've got it there. Okay, let me just quickly, so sorry, I let it go before so let me just add a new page so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Right, so what I did was go again, just go insert, content, let's just bring this in. I don't want the entire area, so I'm just going to bring it there, bring it in there, so let's just drag it to there. Okay, now I need bigger blocks than this, so selecting my grid size, I can then go make these bigger. Okay, and there I now have my grid. Okay, so going back again, just quickly go back to where we were. Here we go. So then what I did as well is I obviously brought in the images as we've been doing, but now what I did is I selected it and I said I need them replicatable. So what that means is when I am when I'm in my presenter mode, okay, and now what you've asked the children obviously is to plot these out on the graph. Okay, what I can now do, sorry, it's just catching up. So what I can now do is the children can now come to the board as well and now count out 1, 4 lambs selection. We just start from the bottom. So there we go. You can see it's easily replicatable. We have 5 flowers, so just keep pulling them up. Okay, and so on and so forth. And then I've also got the explanation on the side in case you forget, but also the questions to ask. So which column is the most, which column is the least, are there any that are the same? Okay, and then they can answer. What they can also do is, if you don't want them to pull that out, they can obviously bring up the highlighter and then color in the graph as well. Alright, so that gives you options. Next, I'm going to come out of presenter mode for this one. So I brought in an image here. So this is a snipping from a worksheet. I brought it in as an image, and now from here what I can do is, based on the answers, I can then bring in my pens. So let's just choose our fine tip. Let's go with the pink. So to change my pink, let's just change big. No, wrong way. There we go. So now we've got a pink. So now I'm saying 2 + 2 is 4. So now they can come to the board and then they can color in that, or they can color in whatever the answer is for green or brown. Okay, so quite easy to do. Again, I brought in a snipping, I set it in the background, so just follow the steps from the first one, and that's how you would do this. And then of course add your text box. Okay. Matching the parent to the baby, again, Same thing. I've brought in images from the I've brought in images from my content. So again, content, I have put them in the background. Okay, so just remember the edit background, bring them in. So now you can have kids come to the board, again, pick up the pen, obviously you can change a color, and simply draw a line from mommy to baby, or parent to baby. Okay. Right, next one, life cycles. So in here, you can have the kids again come to the front. I'm just going to presenter mode to show you. So here's a life cycle. I just want to see. Right, so now if I go through this, it'll go from frog to eggs to tadpoles, slightly older tadpoles, then back to your frog. Same with your butterfly to eggs to caterpillar, to pupa stage or larva stage, and back. Okay, so now how do we do this? Let me just go add a new page quickly. This one just requires a little bit of patience. You just need to get your, the big thing is to get your layers right. Okay, so, right, so here we go. So let me go here. Okay, so let me just delete this and then I can start from there. Edit background. Let me just delete all of this. Delete. Okay. Right, so how we would do that. So first off, let's go get the images we want. So let's stick to our frog. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go to Google. I'll go get a frog. Yeah, let's just go get that frog. Okay, now I've got the white background. So what I can do is under image options, I can simply go and remove my background. There we go. So now I've got my frog. Now I want frog eggs. Okay, let's just bring in this one. Okay. Then I want tadpoles. Okay. So there's my tadpole. Okay, let's just work with these three. Right, so now what you want to do is you want to layer them. So I want to make sure this one remains on top. Okay, so what I will do here is put this one in the back. So this is called stacking. The minute you layer is you're going to send something into the background. So you just want to stack it. So you stack that to the back, then bring this slightly forward, and you want to stack this. I just want to see this needs to go completely to the back. So let me just see. First I want to just remove the background if we can. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go stack it. So this must go completely to the back. Okay, I just want to see if this, yeah, okay, so it is behind that one. Okay, so now what's going to happen is what I do is I select them, right? So select all of them, and you will note you've got the three little dots again. Select the three little dots and select cycle. Now if I go to my presenter mode, okay, right, if I click this now, it's going to cycle through. Okay, so very easy to do. You just got to remember your layering. Right, next one. Okay, I'm just get out of the presenter mode. Okay, right, next. Okay. Okay, next we have a puzzle. So very similar to how we do our shape splitting. So so yeah, you've got different pieces of a puzzle. All I did was go into my insert. So I will show you here. Go to content, look for whatever picture. So let's just say, so here we've got a whimsical landscape. Okay, So now what you were able to do is I will go into my paint bucket, go into my cropping tool, I will go into my knife. And now here you can then go and chop and change and split this as much as you want to create that puzzle. Right, so here we go. So you'll see I cut out the piece directly out of the puzzle, and you can then go and cut as much as you want, okay, to create that awesome effect. Right. Okay, so I'm going to just delete this for now. Okay, so scramble these up and let the little ones then come through and sort that out. So what I can see activity, so again, all I've done is bring an image out of content into this, and it's sitting in the background, and I've added a text box. But the difference is this one, it's quite nice to use the spotlight. So what I've done here is if I go, sorry, wrong place, into my page options, and I just want to see, I go into my page options, and I can turn my spotlight on. But now to set up your spotlight, sorry, let me just get into setting up my spotlight. Okay, if I just tap on it, this is now where I can actually change the color of it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep that as a dark background, so I've changed the color. I can also change the size of the spotlight, so I just want a relatively small one. I can also change the transparency, so I still want them to see what's behind it because I want everybody to look, but I want to highlight whatever they have spotted. Okay, so that's how you can bring in your spotlight. While we're on here, the other one we've also got is our curtain, so also the same applies. You can choose left, right, up, down, color, etc., and you can then turn that on and off. Okay, so that's the what can we see activity. Next is the spring flower game. I actually got this idea from Twinkle. So all I've done here is I've brought in the image in the background from Twinkle, and what I've actually done is I have created a link over this. So what I did was I first went and created a bank of cards. So you can go and amend this and add whatever cards you want to. So how you'll do that is just remove the cover. Okay. And here you can then just click on this and you can go and amend this and change your questions. When you're done, simply double click on the little dots and press cover again. Of course, press on the 3 little dots and you can actually change your cover, your color, all of that. Okay. Now, the whole idea is if I click on this, it'll take me back. So if I get into my presenter mode, right, I have linked these pages. So in my presenter mode, if I click that, it's going to take me back here. If I land up, so what we'll do, how this game works, is your little ones will then decide what color they are, go to the start. Let's just say you can obviously work with 9 dice if you want to, but you can work with 1. So let me roll it. Right, so I got 6. So I will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, I've landed on a pickup card. So now if I click on the pickup card, it's going to take me to my questions. I can pick and choose which question. Okay, there we go. And I need to then answer it. So great if you're doing spelling or maths or anything that needs to be made engaging. So how did we do that? Right, so let me just get back to stop presenting. Okay, so all I did was I've created a layer over this, and how I did that, I went into shapes, okay, and I went over that area, right. I made this transparent, and you will see you got your 3 little dots. Click on that and I said link, right, and then all I did was I wanted it to link it to a page. So obviously the important bit is you've already created this page prior to doing this. So all you do is click on the page and you then have your link. Okay. Right, so there we go. So that's It's the same way you can link up documents or link up to a website or anything else like that. Right, so that's how you've now got your spring flowers game. Okay, with the questions with it. Next, your word search activity. So again, this forms part of our links activities. So you're going to link your icon the same way. You are going to go and add your word search the same way. You are going to edit it the same way. So remember, if I click edit, my paper will come up. I can change the title, change the image, and put all my words in here that I want them to search. Okay, so very easy to do. And just to show you what it looks like, if I now click on my word search, sorry, let me go into presenter mode. Right. If I click on my word search now, sorry, I've just gone into that, not that. That's just, this I actually just took a snipping of and brought it in. So I took a snapshot. If I click on the link here, right, it's going to go out to my word search. And then you can see what it looks like. So there we go. So now we've got all my words. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one very quickly. Here we go, butterfly. Oh, try that again. Try that again, sorry. There we go, and I've got butterfly. Okay, so that's setting up word search. Then you can actually bring in PDFs. So you can bring in PDFs, Word documents, and other documents directly into Lynx Whiteboard. So here I've got two PDFs from Twinkle. So how we do that? So first off, let me just stop presenting quickly. So first off, what you're going to do is, remember I told you in the beginning, you have to make sure under options that you all toggle to the right. What you're going to do is you're going to go to insert. You're going to go to content then. You're going to go to your folder, right? You'll go to your browse files. So you do that out of your little three little lines, which is your hamburger menu. Go browse files. Sorry, my laptop's just very slow today. There we go. So now I'm in files. So if I just go home for a second. Okay. In documents. Let me just go to lesson creation. There we go. Lesson development, grade R. And let me just see. Here it is here. So if I select that now, it's going to bring it directly in here. So even if I had 5, 6, 700 pages, you would see all the pages. Okay, and the nice thing about this, it embeds it in here. So now my little ones can come to the front, pick up the pen, and they then be able to circle or color in, or you name it. Right, so that's bringing in PDFs. Next is my handwriting. So let me just get to a new page quickly. Right, so what we've done here is, let me just get in out of this. Right, so I need to bring in my handwriting tool. So I just want to go edit this. Edit background quickly. I want to remove, actually, I can, yeah, let me remove this, start from scratch. Okay, so what you do to bring in that is I will go to insert, I will go to content. Again, in my folder, I go to backgrounds, I go to lined paper, and I can bring across my different lined paper. You see you've got a variety of options. Now, depending on the age I'm teaching, you might want them a bit thicker, a bit thinner, whatever the case is. So let's go with very thick. And now what I did as well is we need a margin. So all I did was go into my shapes, bring up my shape here, and create a margin. So bring that across, select it, and I can maybe make it a red margin if need be. And there we go. Now that is stuck in the background. Okay, then of course add your typing tool right over it, whatever you may need. Okay, so that's that. And then the last one is my little teapot rhyme, tadpole teapot. So this is great for obviously comprehension, reading, all of that. But what I do want to show you is actually how I've created a link to a video. It was a sound file that I've recorded using, so the same way I'm using and recording this lesson, I recorded me reading this rhyme and actually using our laser pointer tool to highlight. So if I just show you here, let me go into presenter mode. Right, so all I did was bring in the graphics in the background. This is a shape that I brought in and I typed over it. This is just a graphic I brought in, and then I created the link, so same way as we do the others. Now if I select on this, it's going to open my recording. Alright, so how we did this is you're going to download your Lynx recorder. So if you go to, if you're on your board, you will download it from your directly from lynxcloud.app, same way as you would for your on your laptop. So I brought that up and obviously then read it out, and what I did use was our laser pointer. So as I'm reading it, you can simply highlight underneath for it to go along. So this is great if kids are sick or you just need them to revise anything. That is then a great tool as well. So how, again, just to remind you, oops, sorry, I just want to get out of presenter mode. So out of presenter mode, what you would do, if I select here, I click on the three little, oops, I want to paste, select here, click on the three little dots, and I say link. I have now linked this to obviously a document, so I went to select that file. It's sitting on my laptop. Okay, so remember, if it's sitting on your laptop, then it's best to play it from your laptop. Otherwise, you don't forget to save these files onto your board as well. Okay, right, and that's the end of how I've created this lesson. The last thing though, let me just get into my presenter mode, is the ability to zigzag between all of these. So just give my laptop a second to catch up. Right, so you'll see I've got butterflies everywhere. If I select the butterfly, it takes me back to my main page. So no matter where I am, I can go and open a page and select my butterfly and come back. Now, how have I done this? Well, let me just show you. So on my main page that I would like all my slides, all you would do is you go to the insert icon, you go to page link, okay, and you would go and select now which page you want to see on top there. So let's say we wanted to see this one. I'd say okay, and there it is there. Now on that page, what you would do is you would go and, let me just go here, you would go and put in any little icon. It could be an arrow, it could be, you name it, doesn't matter, any object, right? You will again say, click on the three little dots, you will again say link, but this time you say link to a page. So there we go. Now you will say select page. Okay, you'll see mine says slide 1, and it'll go back to slide 1. Okay, and that's how easy it is to create your lesson. Don't forget to save. There is a whisper that auto-saving is on the cards, but for now you're going to have to just save. Okay, so once you save, you can save it in your Lynx drive, your Lynx Cloud account. You can save it onto your device. You can save it into your OneDrive and your Google Drive directly from here. Just remember, you need to set those up first, or you can go and share it, bring up a QR code, scan, and you can WhatsApp it out or email it out, or you can of course print your slides as well. So I do hope this helps you in terms of your preparation in Lynx Whiteboard. Have some fun with Lynx. It really is an amazing tool to create interactive lessons, and I do invite you, if there is a lesson you really want, give us a shout. Let's see how we can help you, and let's continue this journey and make learning fun.